I'm greeting you all on behalf of Zadar County Development Agency, ZADRA from Croatia. My name is Andrea Vitlov Kurtin, and as the name itself from our agency says, we are a regional development agency. And by cooperating with regional public bodies and local authorities, the agency has the capacity to influence policies on local and regional level. We are also a regional coordinator, and by that the agency is managing assignments and activities of public interest. Thematic competencies of the agencies have been gathered through the implementation of various projects in various fields. And we implemented many projects as lead partner and as project partners. Today I will present you Interact Project Stream, a strategic Interact project from a cross-border cooperation Italy-Croatia. And I will tell you something more about the methods we've implemented in the projects for reducing the coping with the floods. Okay. I will now try to share my screen. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So as I mentioned, the stream is Interact strategic project.
Sorry.
Yes.
The screen, we see the presentation, but not in presentation mode.
Oh, sorry, just a second.
Okay. Perhaps you shared the wrong screen.
Just a second. Now?
No, it seems like
no?
This is another window.
Just a second, I'm sorry.
No problem. Do you have by chance two screens?
Just, no, I turned it off. And we also tried before, just a second.
Andrea, excuse me, try
Yes.
to stop the share.
Okay, stop share.
And reshare again.
Share sound.
Share the screen, the application of PowerPoint.
Now?
It works.
Nice works.
Thanks.
It works. Okay, thank you very much. So as I mentioned, the stream is an Interact project from a cross-border cooperation between Italy and Croatia. It's an acronym that stands for Strategic Development of Flood Management. And the project aims to reduce human and socio-economic losses in case of flood hazards by improving flood risk management of local authorities and emergency services. The contribution of increasing knowledge about floods in the areas involved is the specific objective of the project. And improving flood risk management for local authorities and emergency services, while people will learn how to behave in the case of flood hazards, that will help us to reduce the human and socio-economic losses caused by floodings. Total budget of the project is a little less than 9.5 million euros. The project started in April 2020 and it will end in June 2023. There are 16 project partners included in the project. The Zadar County Development Agency, ZADRA is a lead partner. Dubrovnik-Neretva County, Public Body for the Right to Study Teramo, Public Institution Development Agency of Lika, Same County, Karlovac County, Town of Poreč, Parenzo, City of Venice, EU of University of Venice, Public Institution RERA of Split, Dalmatia County, University of Zadar, Regional Agency for Prevention, Environment and Energy in Emilia-Romagna, Regional Strategic Agency for the Eco-Sustainable Development of the Territoria Puglia region, Institute of Marine Sciences, CNR ISMAR, Euro-Mediterranean Center on Climate Change Foundation, CMCC, Polytechnic University of Marken, Marken region, So we have 7 Croatian project partners and 9 Italian project partners. The relevance of the project is manifested in several important points of the project area. The first one is for sure the climate change that is responsible for facing different kind of floods, fluvial, pluvial, sea storm surge floods. We are all witnessing climate change resulting in an increasing number of extreme weather events. The side pictures that you can see on the screen are showing Zadar on one of the biggest floods in the history of Zadar. It was 2017 on 9/11, certainly a significant date in world history, but also in the history of Zadar. But as we know, such cases are no longer an exception, but there are frequent scenarios in Italy and in Croatia. As we know, the influence of climate change has doubled the risk of severe rainfall. When it comes to floods, extreme weather events such as intense rainfall can reduce water quality and availability. They can jeopardize water security, and they can also affect human health. Immediate impacts of floods also include property damage, destruction of crops and livestock, and cleanup costs, and also emergency responses. The second important point of the project relevance is, of course, cross-border cooperation dimension. Croatian and Italian sides share the common interest in the reduction of the negative impact of floods. Human resources, knowledge sharing, and increasing capabilities in using new technologies. Stream project partners work together to develop risk monitoring tools and early warning procedures with a combined bottom-up and top-down approach. They are also sharing data, exchanging practices, and capacity building schemes that will bring additional know-how to stakeholders in our project area. Particularly, Stream will develop a flood cadastre, flood risk maps, and a flood risk management plan. Another important key also for reaching the largest possible audience are also organized workshops, info days, and events to improve the citizens' readiness and rescue operations in case of floodings. In fact, raising their awareness in order to adopt correct behaviors is essential to minimize the human losses, of course. Having all that in mind, flood risk management is most effective when it's done at the joint level. In Zadar, I will now tell you about the project outputs that include smart urban drainage system. That is our pilot activity that is currently in the process of implementation. We have 3 locations in the Zadar County where we are implementing smart urban drainage systems. One is in the city center of Zadar. It's a park called Vruljica. The other is in the backyard of the elementary school. And the third one is near the road that connects city of Zadar with city of Beograd. Of course, because of the COVID pandemic and because of the prolongation of the project, all the constructions are a little late. So only the smart urban drainage system in Ploča in the backyard of school is almost finished, and with other ones we will have to wait a few months more. I will tell you something more about the most important one for us that is in the city center of Zadar. It's a park called Vruljica, and it usually gets flooded after a heavy rain that causes a traffic jam and all kinds of problems. So we decided to recreate the natural function of the land by implementing a rain garden, which includes capturing rainwater, filtering out pollutants, and recharging groundwater. The rain gardens can be designed simply as digging a shallow depression and filling it with native plants and soil amended with sand. The range can be from an industrial size of thousands of square meters to a resident size of a few hundred square meters. And this is an easy way of how to capture rainwater that would otherwise lead to flooding. Rain gardens can also be a part of a drainage system, and at the same time, they have the ability to store big amounts of rainwater that can be used in the irrigation. This is the design state of our rain garden. I don't know how much can you see really from this project, and it's all in Croatian, but I will try to explain you as best as I can. So this is the green thing is the rain garden, and gray thing are the asphalt. It is a road. So there are a channel, there are line grids that serves for the drainage. The water that will drain from the roadway will go through the drainage pipes, because there are drainage pipes underneath that are actually a sewage system. They lead the water to the oil separator, which purifies the water and cleans it from grease and dirt, so that the purified water from the separator comes to the rain model, and it can be used for irrigation. On this picture, you can see the start of the construction of the rain garden. It is a really deep shell that contains rain models that are connected to the pipes. The rain models the capacity is 6 cubic meters. So they can effectively store the huge amount of collected water that can afterwards be used for the irrigation. On the top of this is the current state. So we are in the process of planting indigenous highly absorbent plants that will be on the top of the rain garden with the rain models that are below. So we will, in this way, we will try to be in harmony with nature to prevent flood, and in the same time we can use the rainwater for the irrigation. Unfortunately, we have been witnessing bad weather and heavy rains for almost a month now, which is preventing us from finishing the works. But hopefully it will be done with the beginning of the next year. So we will, of course, be very happy to see the plants absorbing it, the irrigation, and everything that we already had in project, alive. So rain gardens are they are not only preventing floods, but they are also beautifying the city, because they are part of the green area. And that's all for me. Thank you very much. I don't know how clear was I.
Thank you very much, Andrea.
Thank you.
Is there any question from the audience? Maybe I would have a very quick question. I really like these natural-based solutions. At which extent do you think these relatively small interventions can act mitigating a flood for an extreme event? So do you already made scenarios like can this change the situation in the case of I don't know, 50-year return time event, or there will be needing actually more than these in order to be really effective?
Thank you very much. But we will for sure need something more. But these small solutions can really be helpful. And we are all witnessing the period that in our time that everything is about buildings and roads, and there is so little of this green infrastructure, and we really need to work in our urban centers, in our cities, to have more solutions like rain gardens. At this moment now we have our project partners from Porec Parenzo, and we were also there having a meeting, and we visited the rain gardens they implemented a few years ago in Pula, and you would not believe, but with the four and fifth is now in the implementation project, they really you can see the results, because they really impacted the floods, and they resolved it with these 4 rain gardens. That really looks beautiful, and it's really because it's impossible to. It's really not easy to see that underneath you have this whole sewage system and the pipes, and because you cannot really see it. The first thing you can see is how beautiful it is, and you really don't see the construction underneath. So I think it's the most best way, to cope with floods that are part of everyday lives in Italy and in Croatia, of course.
Thank you very much.